Now guys, I've been covering rumors of Sonos headphones since 2019, and finally, it's here in the form of the Sonos Ace wireless headphones. Now I've had the chance to test it, but it wasn't a controlled setting, so I couldn't put it through my usual battery of tests. Still, I did get a pretty good sense of what it can do regarding sound quality, active noise cancelling, and its very unique set of features, which makes them so different from anything else I've ever tested. When I do get my hands on a review unit, I'll be back with a deep dive coming very soon, so get subscribed and tap the bell button to stay notified. Now, for my first impressions, these headphones are sexy, for lack of a better word. They're designed to be low profile and lightweight and comfortable to wear for hours. And the clamp felt firm, but not to the point of being too tight and uncomfortable, which is awesome. It's got vegan leather cushions, they are soft and plush, and the cushions come with a protective mesh that can be removed easily as a single piece since it's magnetically attached. On the left ear cup, you find the power/Bluetooth pairing button and the USB Type-C port. On the right ear cup, you have two buttons, one that toggles in and out of active noise cancelling and transparency. The other is called the content key, which can be pushed in either direction to control the volume and also operate your music controls. There's one more feature this activates, but we'll get to it later. The USB Type-C port supports quick charging. A 3-minute charge gives you 3 hours of juice. This port also supports audio output. You can either connect it directly to your source over USB Type-C or use the provided Type-C to 3.5mm converter. Now, some of you might notice that the headband only folds flat and doesn't fold into a smaller package, but overall, it's a very sleek design that feels great in my hands and looks great on my head. Now, in terms of specs, this Sonos Ace has up to 30 hours of battery with active noise cancelling. Not bad. It's got multi-point pairing, which is the ability to stay connected to up to 2 devices at the same time. It's not high-res certified, but since it's Snapdragon Sound certified, it is capable of streaming over aptX Adaptive, which, depending on the content, could either deliver audio over high compression but lower latency, which is more suitable for playing mobile games, or a lower compression, higher quality audio stream that is somewhat equivalent to aptX HD, and that is more suitable for enjoying, say, lossless audio files. Now, speaking of the Sonos Ace's sound quality, playing selected music from a demo iPad, the most impressive thing that I could glean about its sound is its smoothness and its clean track separation. It's got open and airy sound staging, and they also sounded pretty detailed with great dynamic range. I'm not that surprised. This is Sonos, so I'm kind of expecting great sound quality to begin with. Plus, Sonos did say that they've taken the Sonos Ace to some Academy Award winning sound engineers, and these engineers helped tune the Ace. It does seem, though, to lean a little thin in the bass frequencies, both in the mid and sub bass frequencies, and they did sound a little more dark in the upper mids. But I wasn't listening to my usual test tracks, so I'm gonna have to confirm that again when I can. Okay, let's talk about noise cancelling performance. I was in a crowded setting, and the Sonos Ace was able to cancel the ambient chatter very well. Even without the music, I could already feel silence when I put the headphones on for the first time. Powerful noise cancelling, but for some reason, I was actually more impressed by the Sonos Ace's transparency mode. It sounded very clear, very little hissing in the background, and I could have a conversation easily with people around me and in front of me. My impression is that it sounded very comparable to that of the Sony WH-1000XM5, which has the best transparency in the market so far as I can tell. But we'll have to confirm that again when I get a unit into the studio to review. The same thing goes for microphone quality. I was not able to test this microphone during the demo, so that'll have to wait till my review video. Now, what's special about the Ace is it's the only headphones I've ever tested that has a Wi-Fi module built inside. And what it does is, by pressing the content button for a few seconds, it allows a Sonos soundbar to beam the audio to the headphones. Now I can see this being very useful for when you're watching a movie with your family in the living room and they want to go to bed, but since you're not tired, you still want to watch something else, you can continue listening to the audio on the Sonos Ace instead of the Sonos soundbar. And that way, you can also enjoy 7.1.4 Dolby Atmos spatial audio on the Sonos Ace with dynamic head tracking, which can be activated in the Sonos app. Now, what is unique about Sonos spatial audio compared to regular spatial audio is it's designed to be even more realistic. How? By using True Cinema, which is tuning technology similar to TruePlay tuning. True Cinema is able to tune the spatial audio to sound more in sync with your room's actual acoustics. It calibrates for decay patterns and timing according to your room's acoustics. So if your room's a small den, the Ace's spatial audio is gonna sound like actual speakers playing in your small den versus, say, a concert hall, which is gonna feel a lot less natural to the listener, right? Experiencing that for myself in a controlled setting, the sounds of the movie Gravity did feel like it's coming from outside the headphones, and with head tracking, it feels like I'm in the middle of a static home theater setup. That's how immersive spatial audio is supposed to sound like. However, it seems that to actually experience spatial audio on the Sonos Ace, or even to tune it with True Cinema, it appears that you'll need to have a Sonos soundbar in the first place. Could be the Arc, could be the Beam, could be the Ray. It's not going to work with any other source of audio. That's actually something that felt a bit underwhelming about the Sonos Ace, because when I think of a pair of headphones from Sonos with their reputation for interconnectivity, I think of a product that's gonna tap into the entire Sonos ecosystem at home. So you can have audio flowing between the Ace and, say, a Sonos Era 100 or even multiple Sonos speakers. So if I'm listening to a podcast and I just got home from a day at work, it auto connects to Wi-Fi and I can simply transfer the audio from my Sonos Ace to my Era 100 with a tap of a button. That would have been such a game changer, not just for the headphones, but the entire Sonos product line, because it would have positioned the Ace as another point of entry into the Sonos ecosystem. But it appears that Sonos had to strike a balance somewhat between having such features and keeping the battery life at 30 hours. Because if Wi-Fi is involved, it's going to be very power intensive, and I don't think we can get 30 hours with Wi-Fi. So we can't have everything we want. That's okay. This handoff feature with Sonos soundbars is still pretty cool, and the Ace is looking like a beautiful, unique, and capable premium product. I can't wait to get it into the studio to review, so if you haven't done so already, get subscribed and tap the bell button to stay notified of that review, which will also cover its microphone performance. See you then.